Hey, what's up? I'm Rivera. We are at Hidden Dimension Studio in Arabi, Louisiana, and we're just going to check it out a little bit. As you can see, there's a lot to look at in this shop. It's probably one of my favorite things about this place is that there's just so much anime and pop culture stuff. It's super dope. But yeah, let's go. So we have 4 artists here. One of them is Angel. This is her workstation. She does a lot of like animals and more, crawfish and cool stuff like that. Super awesome person. And then this is our apprentice Sydney's workstation. She loves baby stuff, obviously. She's probably one of my best friends at the shop here just because we're always making stupid memes and jokes and stuff like that. And we play Fortnite. This is Michael, the owner's desk here. He does a lot of super dope anime, portrait, anything big, color, a bunch of cool stuff like that. He obviously loves Berserk. That's his bread and butter right there. But this is his space here at Hidden Dimension. He's definitely created like a super unique, one-of-a-kind kind of thing. And then this is me here. I have my own little glass case for all of my inks. The light is out right now. Lots of Evangelion figures on the top, stuff like that. We have a joke where the teeth up here, because my username is False Teeth God. But yeah, little workspace here. I've only been here for a little less than a year now, but I super enjoy it here. It's probably the most family I've ever felt at like a shop per se. But then this is definitely my favorite place in the shop is like an Evangelion shrine here. This figure especially is so fucking sick. I love this thing to death. But yeah, and then here in the back, as you can see, we have a mirror. And then we pull down these little blind in the back and we take pictures of clients. That way we can get a like consistent picture pretty often. So I love to do bigger anime stuff. Pretty much anything, super bold line, super bold color, half sleeve, things like that. And this is just an example here of a Shinran I did. I was super happy with it. As you can tell, it's just super big and colorful. You could see this dude across the room and immediately know who it was. Then here on the back side, he has a little Dragon Ball in his hand. And then other than that, I like to do, more black and gray stuff. This is a TikTok I made a couple months ago. It's a cover up of this old smiley face. It's just a cool Reaper design. Lots of fun, lots of line work. And here you see the final result. You can't even see that smiley face on the top anymore. Super fun piece. And then here you see I just love to draw super colorful anime designs. The Love, Hashira, Spawn, just super big, bright, in your face kind of thing. This is a little black and gray bear trap I did on my friend, Emma. And then this is a walk-in that I did, a little moth, and then a little crawfish, chibi crawfish. Me and Michael are actually supposed to do one each, but they showed up kind of late, so I just ended up doing both. But yeah, here's more designs of just stuff I want to do. Here's a Jujutsu Kaisen piece I was able to do. I think this video only shows the line work and the black and gray shading, but I actually did full color on this piece eventually, which was super fun. But yeah, that's about it. I think with my art, I just like to do what's going to look good longer. Super readable faces from long-term, use. I say use. It's not the correct word. was just going to last longer on skin. People age differently. If you get a lot of sun, you probably shouldn't get a lot of, super pink and yellowy colors. It'll probably fade pretty quickly. So sometimes you have to talk your client into, hey, we should probably do black and gray or something like that. So I'm a tattoo artist in the New Orleans area, in Arabi. I've been tattooing for about 6.5 years now. I've been working here for about less than a year. Yeah, I just like to skate, hang out with my friends, go to shows, stuff like that. I was originally from Hammond, that's where I was born, but then lived here until Katrina hit. Ended up moving to the North Shore with my parents, and then I still went to school in Metairie, like Old Metairie, for another few years until I got until like elementary, or so from like 3rd grade up. And so from there on, I went to school on the other side. And then in high school, I moved to Mandeville. And then I went to Hammond. I went back to Hammond for college. I graduated, but at my 2nd year Southeastern, I started doing my apprenticeship. And I was super fortunate. Eric Fox at Turning Point Tattoos gave me a chance to kind of prove myself. And he really taught and sat down with me and let me learn, So I'm really appreciative of him. He really set the way for me. But it was time to do bigger things. And so Michael Bogle here at Hidden Dimension offered me a job, and I couldn't say no.
And what got you started in tattooing?
So my senior year of high school, I started to draw a lot, like every day. And I kind of challenged myself to draw on index cards, and I had to draw like one thing every day. And usually that was a skull. But from there, my art teacher, Renee, really would kind of give me that freedom to do what I wanted. And so I was really drawn to like tattoo line work stuff and traditional tattoos and anime. So I slowly but surely started doing my own things in class, and she was really supportive of that. And so I think that's what really made me think that I could do it, is because of her support. She was really cool and really allowed me to kind of explore what I wanted to.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Having that support is pretty cool. Do you have a favorite anime or anything?
Yeah, I 100% do. Neon Genesis Evangelion is my #1 favorite. I literally have a whole sleeve that we're working on here, and then my chest piece as well.
And what's it about?
So it's about the reality of a 14-year-old and having the weight of the world on his shoulders, in my opinion. There's a lot of philosophical meanings and like stuff that can be like read between the lines, There's a lot of biblical references. But yeah, overall, like all these shonen now are like, it's a 13-year-old boy and he has power, or he doesn't have any powers, but he still finds like every day he's like, oh, I'm gonna win no matter what. And then Evangelion is kind of like, well, you gave the boy who was 14-year-olds all the power, but he's already damaged. He's dealing with 14-year-old problems. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's kind of like the world is crumbling underneath him, and he's only doing things because people are telling him to, and he's trying to find his identity. At the end, he kind of makes a choice. The whole anime, he's like, fuck everybody, like nobody feels bad for me, all this stuff. But at the end, he kind of sees that there is a pleasure in the pain of life, that we really do sit down and, you can seek as much pleasure, but that's not the story. The story is struggling through, and you look back at the hurt and find success and stuff like that.
So is there a certain antagonist in it, or is that like a societal?
Yeah. So the antagonist would be considered the angels, which are pretty much these quote unquote aliens from space. that are coming to Earth to get to their creator, Adam. Yeah, it's a little convoluted if you don't know like anything about the anime. So what inspires me is, I mean, a lot of things. So when I was growing up, I started skateboarding at like 14 years old, and I really found like that like a group of people that I really related to, where it was kind of like, you know, skate punk, like fuck you, I skate. So I really got into like Minor Threat, Black Flag, The Descendants, stuff like that, Circle Jerks. And then from there, I was in high school when I was 14 years old, so I was also like really into like emo music, like Sleeping with Sirens and Escape the Fates' first album, Ocean's 8 Alaska, Counterparts, all that good stuff. And I think that really shaped me on like, I really liked more aggressive things. And so when I first started drawing, it was all black, like ink on paper, just like super texturized, like a little more aggressive stuff, like skulls and stuff. And I think skating had a lot to do with that as well. And then later on, you know, I'd always liked anime. My dad showed me anime when I was pretty young. I really liked Gundam and Gundam Wing and Bubble Bum Crisis and other shit like that. So I think that also kind of like led me to be a little more like, you know, what can I get away with? And so I think all of those things kind of like transform what's in your art, per se. So when I started tattooing, I even told like my mentor, I was like, oh, I don't want to do any color, like fuck color, like, and he's like, nah, man, you got to do it. And so I learned how to shade and stuff, and it's actually like, I'm so happy and grateful I did, because that's like all I want to do now is super big like color anime stuff or pop culture, neo-traditional stuff like that.
What's your biggest challenge when starting tattooing, practicing it?
Myself. So I'm like my biggest enemy when it comes to my work. And it's not the worst thing, but it's like I just was constantly really critical of myself. And so every time I even felt like I was kind of doing good, I would just be like, but that's not good enough. But I think that's good, because that's like the fire under your ass, where it's like you're not going to stop trying to progress. And even here, starting at Hidden Dimension, like I immediately started working next to people who were doing entire sleeves and back pieces and really intricate, beautiful pieces. And I have to step up to that, you know. I'm the new guy. I have to kind of fill those shoes, per se. And so I'm just super critical of my own work. But I have been happier lately because thanks to Michael Vogel, he's really kind of like helped me find certain ways to like really up my game. And I'm starting to feel a little more confident of like my color and shading and like the textures I do and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely like I am my own worst hater. And I would say that that is my biggest obstacle, is like I can never just have a moment of happiness.
And kind of want to perfect it. Make sure to try.
Exactly.
How do you know when a piece is done?
I would say either, I mean, exactly what you draw beforehand. So I try to always have like a drawing that is either shaded or colored beforehand to kind of give me an idea of, you know, how long it's going to take, how much I can quote my customer, stuff like that. But it can be much more than that. Like if they really want something more intricate, then yeah, you can sit there for hours trying to draw something that's never been done. But with anime, at the end of the day, you still need to know what the character is. So it's hard to say like, well, it's done when the piece is done, but you could always be like, oh, well, you can always add more, you know. You can always add more texture, more highlights. You can even ask people to come back for a second pass on lines, like line work, because that can really emphasize some of the pieces.
Do you have a favorite piece you've done so far?
That's
a favorite, like, I guess three different pieces.
Yeah, I think I have, like, at least in the tip of my brain right now. I say the last one I did that like sticks out is a Shenron I did from Dragon Ball Z. It's like a half sleeve from his wrist to his ditch, and I think it came out super clean. I was really happy with the color and the saturation, and I felt like it was kind of like a stepping stone. I was like, oh, this is what I can do, you know? Secondly, I would say my best friend Jason has a flail on the side of his leg. And I really like that one because I feel like it's original, it's more neo-traditional, black and gray. But like everybody sees it and it's like, oh, that's super sick, you know what I mean? There's like no hesitation of like, that's a cool piece, it's an original piece, stuff like that. And then lastly, this is a hard one because I have a few that I think could be a third place. I'm gonna say I did this this neo-traditional skull and Oni mask on my friend Morgan, and I think I really like, because I had that one drawn in my flash for a long time, and she got it, and I was really happy with it. I just see it, and every time I'm like, such a cool piece, you know.
And do you have any like things you're looking forward to, like any projects, like personal projects? Or
Yeah. So tax season is finally upon us. Most tattooers know that it kind of picks up. But I actually had 2 people email me, and I had a consultation today. Someone wants an albedo from Overlord. So just super cute, big titty anime girl, pretty much. She kind of looks like a succubus where she has like horns and wings. So I'm super excited to do that because it'll be pretty big on the back of her leg. And then the second one I can think of is someone emailed me wanting a manga sleeve, but then they checked out my Instagram and saw that I had like a concept for a Soul Eater sleeve, and they were like, yo, can we do that instead? So stuff like that really shows me like, one, Instagram isn't just a fluke or like no one is seeing it, you know? And then 2, like people really do like, they want cool pieces, they just don't know what's possible. And so if you continue to draw and do stuff like that, like show people what can be done on a sleeve, it shows that like they can and will come to you for it, you know?
And how do you feel whenever it's like completed and you get to see like the reaction to it?
It's always awesome when like, I've had a few people, you know, like really like, they're stoked, you know, like they went through all the torture. Getting tattooed is not fun, you know, you really work for it, but at the end of the day, it's like when someone looks at their piece and they like look back at you and smile, it's really worth it. Like seeing that gratification of like, we both did it, you know, like it's both of our tattoo. We both sat down, we both had our own amount of work in this piece, and so it's super cool. There are a few people that are like super shy, I think, especially in like the more anime world, that like they kind of just like just nod their head, and you're like, I hope they like it, because they don't say anything.
It's kind of like a journey through the whole process.
Exactly. It is very much like, if you get a tattoo from someone who's an asshole, like that's what you remember.
Yeah.
It's like at that point, it's almost not even about the art piece. It's about how this person mistreated you. I think that's another thing about Hidden Dimension is like seeing how much work and like time that we emphasize on like making a experience. I think that's super cool. and no hate to like other shops or my old shop. It's just, it was more like, you come get the tattoo, okay, cool, bye, you know? And here, like, I think we definitely strive to be more of like, hey, we're gonna sit down and like really work on this thing together. Let me tell you as a professional artist, like, what's gonna look good in 20 years. A lot of people see things on Instagram or TikTok and they think it looks good forever because it's hard to imagine what it's gonna look like in 10 years. And yeah, at the end of the day, if someone wants a itty bitty portrait tattoo, power to them. That's awesome. They should do that. It's their life. But I really try to strive my clients to be like long term. You know, like let's build something that like, if I see you in 10 years and you show me your sleeve, we're still like, yo, that is so sick. And you can immediately from across the room know who the characters are, you know, still see their faces, all that good stuff.
So it's like a timeless piece.
Exactly, for sure.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to mention?
I mean, I just want to say thank you to Colby here. I appreciate the time and day. It's super cool. Everybody here at Hidden Dimension, my friends, you know, all that good stuff. Skateboarding, because I owe it my life. But yeah, man, I appreciate it.